Good evening. In one of our previous sessions, we talked about how God has a part and we have a part as we progress through life. I had a good example happen a week before last that I'd like to tell that story. I got a call at work from a lady in the neighborhood or in the community that described herself as an elder and that she was out of food. She didn't have much left. And did I know a place that they were giving away food? So I explained to her that we didn't at our church. However, our church donates money every month to the community food bank, and that I could give her information on that. Since I didn't have it at my desk, I took her phone number, told her I'd call her back right away and give her that information. As I hung up the phone, not 30 seconds later, the phone rang again, and it was Al Adams. And Al said, I have all of this food left over from a food program at the schools, lunch food for children, that I have to get rid of before it spoils. Do you know anyone who needs food? And I said, I think I do. So I told him about this lady, and long story short, made arrangements for her to contact him. And Al met her in our church parking lot and filled the trunk of her car with food, more than she needed. And she said she lived in a mobile home and that she would share this with other needy families in her park. This is an example where someone like Al took a step. Now, he took a step when he worked with the program that generated this food, but he took another step to try to utilize the rest of it, and God did the rest. I mean, there was clear orchestration in what happened there. First was Al, who took the initial step and made this happen, made this opportunity with God's direction happen. There was my small part of picking up the phone and answering it, and then picking up the phone and talking to Al. But God also had talked to this lady. Why else would she call our church at that particular time? You can see the orchestration there. So that's what we mean when God has a part and we have a part. I heard David Jeremiah, who's the pastor of Shadow Mountain Church in San Diego, tell the story about a woman in his congregation came to him. She was suffering with some depression that she couldn't get rid of. And he said to her, knowing she liked to cook, he said to her, I want you to make a batch of cookies every day for the next 3 weeks and give them to somebody and come back and see me in 3 weeks. And so she did, apparently, and she came back in 3 weeks, and when she did, she didn't feel depressed anymore. Doing that every day for 3 weeks got her mind off of herself and on to others. And that is probably the message that I'm trying to give tonight, is that during this time we talk about how we feel, what we need, what we wish we could do. But instead of talking about us, let's talk about others and what we can do. A phone call to somebody who may be a little bit lonely at this time, a text, a message, or maybe just write a letter in the old-fashioned way and mail it to them, a card or something. Or other things that you can think of. There's plenty in our congregation that are doing this. The ladies that made the mass, the people who have been donating food. And there are some people who have been doing grocery shopping for elderly people. And we are reminded that in Acts chapter 10, when they were describing Jesus, speaking of him, said, and he went about doing good. So that's our instruction. So that's our word for tonight. Thank you.